Hello everyone, in this video we're going to draw a rabbit. Start by drawing a circle as a guide for the head. To draw the circle, first make two small marks to indicate the circle's length, and then on the sides make two more small marks to indicate the circle's width. Then connect the marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. Sketch lightly at first so that it's easy to erase if you make a mistake. Also, pause the video to draw at your own pace. The circle doesn't have to be perfect, but if you're having trouble drawing it, just trace the outer edge of a coin, a bottle cap, or anything else with a circular edge. On the bottom left side, draw another circle as a guide for the body. Use the 4 marks method to draw this circle too. First, make 4 small marks to indicate the sides of the circle, and then connect the marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. Make this circle slightly bigger than the head circle. Don't place the circles too far apart. On the right side of the head circle, make a small mark for the muzzle. Connect the small mark to the head using curved lines to finish the guide for the muzzle. This guide should be similar to a wide arc on its side. Pay attention to the size of this guide in relation to the head. Draw a sloping line across the entire head. This is a construction guide that will help you place the facial features later on. On the top left side of the head, draw a long thin arc as a guide for the ear. First, make a small mark. Then connect the small mark to the head using curved lines to finish the guide. The guide should be similar to a tall arc. To the right, draw another arc as a guide for the other ear. Make this shape slightly thinner. Connect the head to the body using curved lines to create the guide for the top part of the body. Curve the line on the right for the chest. On the right side of the body circle, draw a curved line as a guide for the front leg. This guide should be similar to a tall letter U. The bottom part of this arc should be outside of the circle. To the right, draw a vertical line for the other front leg. Under the body, draw a long horizontal line for the hind leg. This line should be long in relation to the body. Connect the horizontal line to the body using shorter curved lines to finish the guide for the hind leg. Make the line on the right more curved for the front of the foot. Draw a short curved line above the foot for the lower section of the body. To the right, draw a short horizontal line as a guide for the other hind leg. Draw a curved line at the top to finish the guide for the other hind leg. And that's it for the guidelines. Now let's start on the final drawing. Inside the head, lightly sketch a small circle for the eye. Place the eye on top of the horizontal construction guide and close to the right edge of the head circle. Pay attention to the size of the eye in relation to the head. When you get the size and position of the eye right, darken the shape. Draw a few short lines along the top part of the eye for fur. The top part of the eye should be flatter than the initial circle. The bottom part of the eye should be round. Draw a few short lines on the sides of the shape for the corners of the eye. Draw a few short lines around the eye for creases. Keep these lines close to the shape of the eye. Inside the eye, off to the side, draw a tiny circle for a highlight. In the middle of the eye, draw a small circle and shade it in for the pupil. Don't overlap the tiny highlight circle as you shade the pupil. Near the tip of the muzzle, draw a small angled line for the nose. The nose should be similar to the letter V. Sketch lightly at first and only darken the lines when you get the shape right. Make the shape of the nose slightly thick. The nose should be small in relation to the head. Draw a short line under the nose for the top part of the mouth. The rest of the mouth won't be visible because of the fur. Use the initial arc as a guide to draw the rest of the muzzle. Darken the basic path of the guide to create the shape of the muzzle. Use short strokes as you darken the shape to create a furry texture. Add a few short strokes below the eye for the side of the muzzle. Use the arc on the top left side as a guide to draw the ear. Darken the initial arc to create the shape of the ear. Use a series of short strokes to create a furry texture. Extend the bottom of the ear so that it's inside the head. Add a series of short strokes within the shape for the ear's furry opening. Keep these strokes close to the edge of the ear. Use the arc on the right as a guide to draw the other ear. This ear is facing the opposite way, so don't draw the inside. Use the initial circle and arc at the top as guides to draw the rest of the head. Simply darken the outer edges of the guides to create the shape of the head. Use a series of short strokes as you darken the lines to create a furry texture. The top of the head should meet the top part of the muzzle. Make the back of the head slightly wider than the initial circle. Leave a few gaps along the bottom part of the shape to indicate where the head connects to the body. Use the arc on the right side of the body as a guide to draw the front leg. Darken the arc using a series of short strokes to create the furry shape of the leg. Extend the shape of the leg farther inside the body. Use short strokes for a furry texture. At the bottom, draw a few short lines to separate the toes on the foot. Darken the line to the right to create the other front leg. A big part of this leg will be hidden behind the body and the first front leg. Use the shape at the bottom as a guide to draw the hind leg. Darken the basic path of the guide. On the front part of the shape, draw a few short curved lines to separate the toes. Use short strokes to create a furry texture on the toes. Darken the left side of the guide using curved lines. Use the shape on the right as a guide to draw the other hind leg the same way. Draw a short curved line near the tip of the shape to separate the toes. Use the remaining shapes and lines as guides to draw the rest of the body. Simply darken the outer edges of the guides to create the shape of the body. Use a series of short strokes as you draw the shape of the body to create a furry texture. Change the orientation of the strokes as you draw the edge of the body. Add a few more short strokes within the shape of the body. Don't make the strokes too long. Now go over the final lines with permanent ink. The next few steps are sped up so that the video isn't too long. Take your time and be careful when you ink your drawing to avoid any accidents. Don't ink the initial guidelines, only the final drawing. When the ink dries, erase all of the guidelines. Now color your drawing. Rabbits have a variety of coat patterns and colors, so you can color your drawing however you'd like. If you have a pet rabbit, try to duplicate its coat pattern on your drawing. For a white rabbit like this one, just add shadows throughout the body using gray. Shadows will give the figure more dimension and volume. Use pink to color the inside of the ear. Add a few shadows inside the ear using dark brown. Draw a few lines inside the ear using red to create veins. Add a bit of pink to the other ear too. Use pink to color the nose as well. Continue to add the gray shadows across the body. Pick a light source as you add the shadows so that they're consistent throughout the body. Here the light source is coming from the top, so most of the shadows will be on the underside of the shapes. Add lighter shades first and gradually build up to darker shades. Slowly and gradually make the shadows darker. Push down slightly harder on your pencils to blend all the different shades of gray together. Add the shadows using short strokes to create a furry texture. Add a bit of blue to the shadows. Don't worry about adding the shadows too smoothly. A rough value will create more texture on the fur. Use dark shades of gray along the creases. Color the eye using different shades of blue. Use dark blue for shadows and light blue for highlights. Add a cast shadow at the bottom using more gray. Coloring can be time-consuming, so be patient and take breaks. Keep coloring until you're happy with the result, and that's it for the rabbit. Don't forget to pause the video to draw at your own pace. Also, please visit howtodrawanimals.com, where every step of this tutorial is broken down into an individual image. That's how, and then the number 2, then drawanimals.com. If you'd like to support my channel, please consider buying my books on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe for more videos in the future. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep drawing.